Craft getting ready to return 2,668 pounds of supplies and science to Earth. We're now standing by for release. Tom Marshburn now has his hand on the trigger that will release Dragon coming up in a few seconds. The robotics officer is confirming that the snares inside the robotic arm are being opened up. This will begin the process of releasing Dragon from the grasp. And Dragon has been released at 5:56 a.m. Central Time, 6:56 a.m. Eastern Time. The arm now being backed away from the vehicle. But again, an on-time release of the Dragon spacecraft at 5:56 a.m. Central Time. These two vehicles are flying 252 miles above the surface of the Earth, just to the south of Australia, about to make a pass over the Pacific Ocean.
Station, we show the pin clear, and Tom's starting to move the arm back.
Copy and concur.
Dragon is now 1.5 meters away from the International Space Station's robotic arm. Coming up on the first departure burn. Burn has been conducted. There goes Dragon away from the arm. This is the first of the 3 departure burns that will be conducted. They will happen in rapid succession, taking Dragon away from the vicinity of the International Space Station, but Dragon now opening up the distance. The team at SpaceX reporting that the burn was conducted as expected. Everything on Dragon on board is looking good.
The Dragon depart was commanded, and the P timer was started, and go to re-enable thrusters.
Copy and concur, and departure burn 1 is complete. Departure burn 2 is going to be starting shortly in about a minute.
Roger, looks both beautiful and nominal from here.
Good words, thank you.
This is a live view from Dragon looking up at the International Space Station. You see both the Kibo Laboratory and the Columbus Laboratory, as well as the Harmony node, which used to be the former home of Dragon. for these past 23 days. There at the bottom is the pressurized mating adapter number 2. That used to be home of the space shuttles back whenever they visited the International Space Station. But Dragon continuing to open up the distance between itself and the orbiting complex. We are standing by for the second of the 3 departure burns coming up here shortly. Departure burn number 2 has begun, and it has finished up. There will be a yaw maneuver coming up next where the spacecraft will spin itself around 180 degrees.
Station Houston on space to ground 2 for robotics. No response required. Departure burn 2 is complete, and departure burn 3 will be in approximately 7.5 minutes.
Okay, looks good.
As these 2 spacecrafts fly together in the darkness, a little bit hard to see the Dragon spacecraft, but you can definitely see the strobe light there blinking, giving an indication of how fast this vehicle is starting to open up the distance between itself and the space station. There on the left-hand side is the station's arm. The team here in Houston getting the space station back into the proper configuration with its handling and steering capabilities. But this third and final departure burn should be taking place at about 6:08 a.m. Central Time, about 6 minutes from now. The SpaceX mission director reporting to Flight Director Scott Stover here inside Mission Control that both burns did look good. They're standing by for the third and final departure burn as we take a look at the camera on board Dragon looking up at the International Space Station. The third and final burn coming up here momentarily, but you get a sense of exactly how big this orbiting complex is as this vehicle backs away from it. There on the left-hand side is the Kibo Laboratory with its front porch there full of science experiments. On the right-hand side is the Columbus Laboratory. There in the middle is both the Harmony and Destiny modules as well as the Tranquility module. You get a sense of the Quest airlock there on the right-hand side, right in between the sort of L-shaped truss with the Russian segment. You see the radiators there in the middle and the solar arrays just coming into view on the left and right. Dragon is now 100 meters away from the International Space Station and backing away.
Station Houston on space to ground 2 for robotics for Chris and Tom.
We're listening.
Yeah, if you guys just tilt the monitor up a little bit, you should be able to see the white strobe for corridor monitoring to ensure that it doesn't exit the abort corridor.
Yeah, we've been watching it visually as well, and it's rock solid. We'll do that as well. It's a good idea. Thank you.
Sure thing. Thanks.
Dragon is coming up on this third and final departure burn. The distance between itself and the International Space Station is about 135 meters and continuing to open up pretty quickly. These two vehicles are passing over the northeastern coast of Australia, heading up over the Pacific Ocean. Dragon is now 150 meters away from the International Space Station. Again, today's deorbit burn will occur at 10:42 a.m. Central Time, splashdown at 11:34 a.m. Central. We're standing by for this third and final departure burn coming up in about 15 seconds. The third and final departure burn is now in progress. Dragon is approaching the keep-out sphere. It'll be exiting it here shortly, carrying it away from the International Space Station complex. You see that strobe light there beginning to exit the top left-hand side of the screen. Departure burn 3 is complete. Dragon is now outside of the keep-out sphere.
Station Houston on Space to Ground 2, no response required. Departure burn 3 is complete and Dragon is outside the keep-out sphere. You are go to perform SSRMS safing, which is step 5 in 1.320.
Copy. We're turning to step 5. Sad to see the Dragon go. Performed her job beautifully. Heading back to her lair. Wish her all the best for the splashdown today.
Thanks very much and great work today, guys.
The station looked 100% nominal. We have completed in 1.320 step 5, and thus we see Dragon release complete, and that gives you the go for a ground maneuver to the SSRMS park position.
Copy and concur. Thanks, guys.